I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me to speak today, and thank you for participating in the IFF GD 2020 virtual advocacy event. Imagine if your chronic health condition were actually an opportunity to live a healthier, more meaningful life. And imagine that you could put together a healthcare team comprised of the best medical doctors and healthcare practitioners with you at the center. And imagine that you knew all the best treatments from all areas of healthcare and that you were committed to maintaining them. Imagine that you were working on building a solid support system, managing your stress, following the best nutritional guidance, nurturing your spirituality and mental and emotional health. How much better off do you think you'd be? Through the choices you make in the journey ahead, you have the power to tip the scales in the favor of health, well being, and healing. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. By making healthy, personalized choices regarding your lifestyle, Western and complementary treatment options, and all aspects of your health, you can give yourself every opportunity to be successful in your healing journey. More than 2 decades ago, Ken Geddes, an employee at Republic Financial and a small company in Colorado where my brother worked, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, told to go home, get his affairs in order. Ken not only survived, but along with the leadership at Republic, started the Lung Cancer Caring Ambassadors program. Ken became one of the greatest advocates in the country, encouraging everyone with lung cancer to explore all their treatment options. A few years later, my brother Randy and I were in Cleveland at the Cleveland Clinic, waiting in the waiting room when my mom was having open heart surgery. Randy got a call from his doctor for a physical he had had the day before coming to Cleveland. He had a positive blood test for hepatitis C. Neither one of us knew what that was. We went down to the medical library. Everything at that time said he'd be dead in about 5 years. He had about a 12% chance of responding to treatment. We sat there, we cried. Who's going to tell mom? On our way back up to the room, we ran across this sign, and it made us think about the road ahead and what we could do to change the outcome of his disease. Just as our mother had done her research to find the best heart clinic in the country, we needed to do the same. We pulled together a team of medical doctors from all different medical disciplines that specialized in hepatitis C. We decided that whatever journey Randy was on, we would share it with others. The Hepatitis C Caring Ambassadors program was born. The most important lesson we learned was that the most important proactive step that you can take in your healthcare journey is assembling a healthcare team that will nourish and support all aspects of your health with you at the center. It's easy to consider your healthcare team complete once you've established a relationship with a primary care provider, specialist, but Western medical professionals alone are not equipped to address with all aspects of their patient's health. Even if they wanted to, they would never have the time. We encourage you to build an integrative healthcare team, to think holistically. Health and wellness aren't only dependent on your physical state. So think about beyond making that the only area your goals target. What goals could you work towards in other areas of your life that might improve your overall health and well being? Familiarize yourself with some of these types of providers, practitioners that support holistic health. Then answer these questions to help you identify your health and wellness priorities and professionals who can help you address them. Before we continue, I just want to go over a couple of terms and definitions that we use for them. There is no standard definition for heal or healing and the act of healing, whether from a chronic health condition or another transformative event. It's going to look different for everyone. Here at Caring Ambassadors, we define healing as a process of restoration to a state of wholeness and fulfillment. Physical healing from one's health condition may or may not be a part of this process. Healing is a process by which well being is achieved and quality of life is improved. You'll also hear integrative healthcare, integrative medicine. World Health Organization describes this as a health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. There's a multitude of internal and external factors that go into this and influence disease, health, well-being, and therefore we believe all appropriate practitioners and evidence-based therapies, whether it's conventional or complementary, should be explored to optimize your health. So let's review the 8 areas of health that we feel are important, starting with Western medicine. Advances in Western medicine have contributed greatly to the quality of life and longevity of millions throughout the 20th and 21st century. Today, Western medicine treatments and approaches can improve healthcare outcomes and lifespans in ways we never imagined a decade or two ago. Think about it. We have a cure for hepatitis C just 2 decades ago. My brother was told he had 5 years to live. Targeted cancer therapies, stem cell transplants, advancements in imaging techniques, health information technology. These innovations and so many others have offered hope, healing, and life where options were once limited. Lung cancer, if caught early, can be eliminated with surgery. These are amazing. New medical discoveries and treatments emerge every day. The longer you can keep yourself as healthy as possible, the more likely you are to benefit from them. And where Western medicine truly exceeds and excels is in diagnostics. Western medicine plays a key role in diagnosing, monitoring, and assessing disease state and progression by using diagnostics such as laboratory tests, and imaging scans. These tests are vitally important through your journey, providing objective biological data on changes in disease state. Results of these tests may help you to understand what is working and what isn't working in your healthcare plan and contribute to making informed decisions for both you and your providers. Regardless of any other component you choose in your healthcare plan, we encourage you to use the best test and di- diagnostics that Western medicine has to offer. Primary care doctors in California can be acupuncturists. Do they understand how to read your lab tests? Talk to your doctors about this. Understand what they know and how they read your tests, and understand that they're looking at what they're doing is making a big difference for you. Complementary medicine, you hear it all the time. It's a term describing healthcare approaches that are not part of our traditional Western medicine system, but are used together with it. They're used by traditional Chinese medicine doctors, Ayurvedic, naturopathic doctors from around the world, and they are the oldest forms of therapy and medicine. Complementary medicine therapies can be used together with Western medicine to enhance treatment effectiveness, relieve symptoms and treatment side effects, and improve quality of life and well being. The potential benefits are numerous. Mind body therapies can reduce pain, anxiety, depression, relieve stress, improve cognitive performance. Body manipulation can reduce tension, stress, anxiety, pain. You get it. We're going there. Nutrition supplementation, maintain and enhance your health, prevent disease, reduce inflammation. Exercise. Exercise can increase longevity, promote weight loss, maintenance, improve your cardiovascular health, prevent disease. You know all this. Improve your mood, your mental health, your emotional health. Energy therapies work to reduce pain, improve your ability to cope, heighten self awareness, improve mood, release tension. So important right now through COVID. Creative therapies, think about it. Improve your self awareness, improve self healing. Try them. We encourage you to visit the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health Medicine Library. Online, they have an evidence based overview of the most popular complementary therapies. And although stronger evidence exists for some therapies than others, many have the potential to improve your overall well being and quality of life in ways we yet do not understand. And you're going to hear about nutrition more from the next speaker, but I want to echo the importance of nutrition. We highly recommend you consider incorporating a dietitian into your healthcare team. For people living with gastrointestinal conditions, this may be the single most important team member. What we eat significantly influences our health for better or for worse. I lived for decades with chronic bronchitis, not understanding I was allergic to milk. It's not just about how much you eat, but what types of food you eat that play a significant role in our dietary health. Proper nutrition can help you reduce inflammation in the body. Systemic inflammation, not in response to an acute injury or disease, but it can impact the body in many damaging ways. It's associated with chronic disease, including cancer. Inflammation can be caused or worsened by factors like stress and depression, but also by the food we put in our bodies in the form of chemicals and toxins and strawberries and other foods. Some foods are known to cause inflammation, others combat it. Learn what these are for you. And this is going to sound like a broken record, but getting the most exercise is one of the most important things that you can do to maintain good health. The importance of exercise becomes even more significant when you're living with a chronic health condition because it helps you prevent physical decline, it slows disease progression. Take control of yourself. Make exercise a part of your healthcare plan and prioritize in your daily life. The benefits are too good to ignore and make it fun, make it enjoyable. So, stress management, you're going to hear again from our next speaker more about this, but I can tell you after 4 decades with a husband with IBS, there is nothing more important than watching his diet and managing his stress. It is the number one most important factor in maintaining good gut health. Stress is a normal emotional and psychological reaction to the many things we encounter in our day to day lives, but don't underestimate its impact. We're all feeling stress from COVID, but ongoing stress can cause real mental, emotional, and physical problems. Chronic stress can actually cause depression. Our immune system makes us more susceptible. It contributes to anxiety, insomnia, obesity, heart disease. It's linked to mental illness, pain, and a substance use. So, living with a gastro illness can cause additional stress. I know this. The good news is, though, practice management techniques. Take control of your stress. There's lots of things been proven to shown that it improves your sleep, your pain, your quality of life, and there's so many ways that you can do it. Practice forgiveness, breathing exercises, so important right now. Think about how many times you forget to breathe throughout the day. Pay attention to it just for a few minutes, and you'd be surprised how often you stop breathing. Meditate. Meditation, mind body practices that serve to relax and calm users create a sense of focus, awareness, and openness to promote relaxation and inner peace. Exercise bears repeating again, increases your endorphins, those neurotransmitters that induce feelings of happiness. We all need that right now. It helps reduce stress, distracts us from our day's worries, improves our sleep, gets us outside or in another room, for maybe away from your family for a few minutes. If you're chronically stressed, consider taking a class or seeing a professional. Try Tai Chi or yoga, Qigong, all slow movements that control breathing. Try hypnosis, imagery. Get the help that you need. There's lots of ways to do it. Biofeedback, art, music, dance therapy. Dancing is great for relieving stress. Do what you can do. Chronic stress may lead to many other health problems. Cognitive behavioral therapy is effective in treating anxiety caused by chronic stress, improving quality of life. If that's what you're feeling, please reach out to someone, talk to a therapist. And all of this is more about your well being. It's a broad term, it means many different things to different people. It's a variety of professionals or practitioners may contribute to your overall well being by enhancing the quality of life, your health, your outlook. According to the Center for Disease Control, well being is associated with numerous health, job, family, and economically related benefits. For example, higher levels of well being are associated with decreased risk of disease. I think you're seeing the common thread here through all of these. And individuals with high levels of well-being are more productive at work and and more likely to contribute to their communities. Emotional and mental health are important components of well-being. Harmful emotional and mental state damage our bodies and our physical health. Our emotions can impact our functions like blood pressure, heart disease, sleep, cause negative emotions. Or mental health manifests itself such as overeating, excessive alcohol use, consumption, drug use. These are all counterproductive to our healing process. Mental health disorders like depression and anxiety are more common with people with chronic health conditions, and they're also associated with poorer physical health. Disease progression and mortality is so important for anyone facing a chronic health condition. There's no one single recipe for creating happiness. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin identified four core well being ingredients: awareness, connection, have meaningful relationships. Relationships are rooted in and flourish based on emotional attributes like appreciation, gratitude, kindness, and passion. All things we see today, need today. Insight, have an understanding how your own self works. Tell the story we tell ourselves about ourselves. A healthy narrative begins with the belief that you are flexible, evolving beings who can adapt to change and are capable of happiness despite setbacks. This belief promotes resilience, which is especially important when facing a chronic health condition. And finally, purpose. A bounty of research points to having a sense of purpose as being a significant contributor to well being and happiness. Purpose can also be thought of as what we inspire to, what we live for, what our ultimate motivation in life is. By reflecting and focusing on your purpose and aligning it with your daily behavior, you can nourish your own sense of well being and resilience. Resilience and well being is what happens to us when we adapt well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, what we're feeling today. In the simplest terms, it's our ability to bounce back from these not normal times that we're living in and regain or find a new state of well being and contentment. We also encourage you to look at your supportive relationships, really build that support system that you need. I know it's more difficult as we're also social distancing, but reach out. Zoom can be free. Make Zoom calls. Call your loved ones, call your friends, reach out. People with support systems have a better health outcomes, and it helps us to live longer. Unfortunately, the opposite is also true as we're all realizing that isolation and loneliness leads to depression and poor health outcomes. No one needs to face a chronic disease alone. Seek and receive help from others. You might find it easier to cope. We encourage you to build a support system as part of your integrative team. And look to spiritual practices. For thousands of years, spiritual practices have been integral and part of the worldwide healing traditions. In discussing spirituality, concept of religion and prayer come to mind, but not all people take part in an organized religion or believe in prayer. But that doesn't mean that spirituality is not or shouldn't be a part of their life and self care. So, for our purposes, spirituality is defined as the unique connection between you and what defines you as your source of healing. Spiritual practice may promote meaning or purpose in your life, a sense of connection, your personal values, religion's specific beliefs, or belief that human beings are more than just your physical existence on earth. There are countless ways in which the practice of spirituality may enter your daily life. Spend time in nature, be service of others, attend a religious service or prayer group, find poetry or read books that inspire you, communicate with ancestors, meditating, choosing to practice harmlessness. Each person has his or her own journey, and the important fact is that it works for you and allows you to continue growing. How does spirituality impact health? Scientists can't provide a definitive answer. We don't know. We do know that religion and spirituality tend to involve social connections in our community, which are beneficial to our health. But spiritual practices such as meditation, journaling, and prayer can also elicit positive emotions, which can have positive impacts. However, there are health benefits to religion and spirituality that extend beyond what is known. We just don't know everything. So, as you're exploring your options, we encourage you to write down in each of the areas, what 8 areas, what it is. What do you want to do now? What do you want to maybe consider later in the future with a little bit more research? What do you know you'll never do? Be realistic. If it takes 10 pills a day and you know you're not good at taking one pill a day, Don't make that part of your plan. Think about it, but make your plan, make it realistic, share it with your team. Your team needs to be a part of this, so make sure they're all a part of it. It's really important that no matter what you do, you tell every member of your team what you're doing. You don't want to inadvertently have a complication that one drug may cause with another drug. The integrative worksheet that you just saw and many more tools are available on our website. Many of these tools that you just saw came from our planner, My Choices, planner for healing. We encourage you to download it and use it on your journey. We have all sorts of resources on building your team, questions to ask your doctor, pharmaceuticals, websites, great information on there. And now that you have a plan, it's time to start recruiting the right healthcare team for you. This is just a partial list. Write down the questions that are important to you and your condition. But remember, like, it needs to be realistic. Like, does your health insurance cover it? And will they accept your plan? Not only are they easy to locate it, but do they want to work with you? And how do they communicate? Do they communicate the same style as you do? You know, this is the perfect time to do some telemedicine interviews and interview new potential doctors about what might your relationship look like and how could you work together. I encourage you to do some interviews right now. Find who is in your field with your disease that is the best. Reach out to them and see if you can't have a phone call and find out if they're not the best person in your next team. And knowledge is important, but when it comes to management and recovery from chronic health condition, there is a tipping point when information hurts more than it helps. Too much of the wrong kind of information has the power to overwhelm and cause feelings of anxiety and depression. The internet can do this to you, especially if you've been newly diagnosed. We encourage you to protect your mental and emotional health. If the amount of content or the information you're finding is causing you to become stressed, anxious, depressed, walk away, step away. Take part in an activity that brings you joy, brings you peace. Remember, you are the same person you were before your diagnosis. The diagnosis does not define you, nor will it shape who you become. Keep a positive attitude and support your mental health, just as important, if not more so, than being informed on every aspect of your health. So, in closing, I just want to give you our advice, which is choose your healthcare team like your life depends on it. It does. Ask questions of everyone. Understand all aspects of your healthcare. Listen to your body and trust your intuition. Be brave in all aspects of health. If you've lost motivation to take the extra step to build your team, try to figure out what's holding you back. If you can find it, it may save your life. Thank you.